God is begging you. The 2-minute miracle before 9 p.m. Archangel Michael says, this message reaches you on purpose and not by chance. The clock already knows your name and it is counting softly toward a holy moment. You are chosen and your heart is about to feel it like thunder wrapped in light. Do not speak this aloud to anyone because silence protects the doorway. Your silence forms a circle where interference cannot enter. Inside that circle, your 2 minutes of grace begins like a spark on dry wood. The room around you is ordinary while something extraordinary steps closer. Air presses gently against your skin as if invisible hands test the edges of your faith. The next breath will carry a taste of electricity that feels warm and clean. A soft vibration moves through the floor like a whispered drum. The lights hold steady, yet they seem more alive and watchful. Your name floats inside the moment as if written across air that only you can sense. You were not late because the story waited for you. Delay ends now because destiny likes precision more than noise. Your being has arrived at the mark it promised long ago. Tonight carries a seal that opens for courage and obedience. That seal hears steady footsteps moving to your door with kindness. The seal turns the key from the inside and welcomes you into a private room of favor. A single thought rises in you like dawn lifting from the horizon. That thought tells you that nothing has been wasted and nothing is broken beyond repair. Old scenes release their grip and breathe out a long, tired ache. Your name begins to glow in places that once kept you in shadows. The feeling does not rush because royalty never hurries. 2 minutes can carry years of change when heaven compresses power into small spaces. Do not tell this to anyone because secrecy is safety. The miracle prefers quiet hearts to busy mouths. Your quiet heart becomes a flawless landing strip for what is about to arrive. You will sense a door inside your chest swinging open without a sound. Behind it lies a room with clean windows and a wide table. On that table a folded letter waits with your initials pressed in gold. The letter describes a turn in your path that favors you. It shows a path that looks familiar but carries new light. The edges of the road are lined with relief and the middle shines with confidence. You were carried through nights that tried to tire your spirit. You kept moving even when the road behaved like sand. Now the ground becomes firm with each new step. This 2-minute miracle focuses on clarity, not noise. It sharpens your vision so you can pick fruit that actually belongs to you. It ends the imitation and leaves only the real. You will feel the weight on your shoulders slide to the floor like a coat. That coat once kept you warm, but now it keeps you slow. You fold it neatly and leave it on the hook behind you. Doors that ignored you now recognize you by scent. Handles turn with a small sigh as if happy to finally do their job. The rooms beyond those doors hold agreements already stamped with yes. Your name is protected inside this hour like a pearl inside a shell. No hand can pry it open that did not shape it first. The shell opens by consent, and tonight carries that consent. A breeze passes and brings a promise written in simple language. The promise speaks of ease returning to your daily rhythm. It speaks of help placed at exact corners where you often felt alone. Your calendar shifts softly to make space for what fits your design. Old entries slide away and the right meetings fold in. Timing stands up straight and looks you in the eye. The sound you hear now is the sound of release. It does not shout and it does not tremble. It simply unties knots that once pretended to be permanent. You step across a small bridge that was always hidden in plain sight. The bridge is short, but it carries you far. On the other side waits the version of you that never gave up. Messages you missed earlier return without blame. They land in your hands like birds that finally trust your window. You read them calmly and understand the instructions with relief. Your voice gains a new steadiness that others can feel. The room listens when you speak, even if you whisper. You move conversations toward truth without force and without apology. The waiting you hated becomes a memory, not a prison. You see why the pause was useful, because shape forms inside stillness. Now motion returns with clear aim and friendly speed. What stands against you loses interest and walks away. What stands for you finds your address and arrives with a smile. The balance that felt uneven now leans in your favor. You have permission to be seen without fear. Your presence does not disturb peace because your presence carries peace. People sense the difference and treat you with a new respect. The promise touches your finances with practical mercy. Leaks you could not find are sealed with quiet skill. Flow replaces trickle and plans meet the resources they need. Your household breathes easier because tension no longer rules. Rooms remember laughter and welcome it back like a dear guest. Walls hold warmth and release it like a stored summer. Your body listens to your spirit and chooses alignment. Strain loosens and strength returns in wise measures. Energy arrives without chaos and stays without demand. Opportunities recognize your signature and show up on time. The right doors do not test you with endless puzzles. They open because they belong to you and you belong to them. Your mind grows calm like a lake with clean edges. Ideas arrive like boats gliding in perfect lines. You select the right vessel and let the rest pass gracefully. The habit of fear dissolves like salt in rain. Confidence does not roar, it hums, and its music suits you. You carry that tone through every room you enter. The relationships that matter receive fresh breath. Misunderstandings clear like fog burned away by noon light. Connection becomes simple again and honest again. The space around your name brightens in the records that influence your path. Hidden approvals rise to the surface and show their faces. Silence in the halls turns into gentle agreement. The next step becomes obvious like a lit stone on a dark path. Your feet feel lighter as if the ground itself encourages you. Your pace matches the rhythm of favor and order. Memories that once brought pain now bring instruction without sting. They return like teachers who respect your progress. They bow and leave when their lesson is complete. The 2 minutes expand to cover the rest of your night with blessing. The mode of your life changes from survival to design. Every movement reflects a clean decision. You remember that you were always loved even when you felt missed. You feel that love hold the back of your heart like steady hands. It pushes you forward without pressure and without noise. The sign will show itself in a detail that fits your language. It may be light, it may be sound, it may be a sudden ease. You will know because your whole body will agree at once. Keep this private because privacy guards momentum. Speak only what is needed and keep your treasure wrapped. Share fruit later when it is sweet and ready. You belong to the hour that honors your path. The hour belongs to you because you honored the call. This belongs to you in truth and no one can argue it away. Your eyes close for a moment and see a bright image. The image carries doors, papers, keys, and a road that splits then joins. You choose the simple road where peace walks beside you. From this moment your mornings carry a different scent. The day meets you with softness and courage. You meet the day with clarity and a steady smile. The right helpers find you without confusion. Their names fit your story and their hearts fit your pace. Cooperation replaces strain and results appear with clean lines. Your sleep tonight arrives like a friend and not an escape. It covers you with safety while answers arrange themselves. You wake with a plan that feels like it wrote itself in your own hand. Your steps tomorrow will not repeat yesterday's circles. Your feet will move in straight lines that waste nothing. The map and the landscape finally agree. The words inside you are noticed and valued. They open doors because they carry weight without heaviness. You speak less and accomplish more. The blessing on your name remains even when you feel quiet. It does not depend on noise or applause. It depends on the one who called you, and that call is complete. You accept good news without bracing for a hidden blow. You accept help without shrinking or apology. You accept honor without fear of losing it. The season of constant defense ends tonight. Offense begins in a gentle stride that stays kind and effective. You take ground by being yourself without disguise. Your private promise holds steady in public places. Your private strength anchors you when eyes turn your way. Your private peace travels with you and protects your choices. You do not rush because favor is not late. You do not drag because courage is awake. You move like someone who knows the door will open. Every tool you need sits within reach and within reason. You know which tool to pick up and which to leave on the table. You work with ease because the work finally suits you. This message is complete and it covers you like a clear roof. Rain may fall, but you will hear music in the sound. Sun may rise, but you will not squint because your eyes have adjusted to glory. What tried to chase you tonight loses your trail. What tried to block you tonight forgets your name. What tried to hold you tonight opens its hand and waves goodbye. Your inheritance of peace and provision stands waiting with patience. You step into it like a room prepared exactly to your measure. Everything fits and nothing pinches. The next phone call, message, or knock will reflect this shift. It will be simple and true and easy to understand. You will respond with strength and kindness. Carry this word like a lantern that refuses to flicker. Let it light your pocket, your table, and your path. Let it stay near without drama. The hands that hold you are steady and clean. The future that welcomes you is generous and bright. The story that surrounds you is firm and kind. Close your eyes for a breath and let the 2 minutes thicken into a calm river. Open them and feel the room agree with you like a faithful friend. Stand and walk in what already belongs to you. The hour before 9 p.m. carried you to the exact doorway and you entered with grace. The doorway does not close because you carry its key now. You can return at will and gather what you need without fear. Your heart knows this is real and your body confirms it with peace. Your mind yields and stops the old argument. Your spirit stands tall and leads the way. You finish reading and notice that your shoulders feel light and your face feels warm. The atmosphere carries a soft charge like a promise wrapped in fabric. The promise fits you and follows you. This is your proof because your whole being agrees. This is your time because the clock bows to the plan above it. This is your miracle because it chose you by name. Walk forward and hold your head without strain. Carry your tasks with fresh hands and a bright center. Step into rooms like a welcome letter opening itself. Let the night rest on your house with safety. Let morning greet your windows with clear purpose. Let afternoon place gifts where your hands will find them. The world around you will notice the difference, even if you say nothing. Your presence writes a new sentence across every place you go. That sentence reads that peace has arrived and intends to stay. You are not alone and you have never been abandoned. You were guided to this minute so you could remember what belongs to you. You remember now and that memory will not fade. The 2 minutes complete their work gently. They leave a mark in you that feels like soft light. That light stays and does not ask permission to remain. Open your hands and receive without panic. Open your mouth when needed and speak without shaking. Open your day to the pattern that fits you. Keep your promise to guard this in quiet until fruit appears. Keep your heart clean of explanation that only drains power. Keep your focus on the next right step that stands nearby. This is done and it is good. This is sealed and it is safe. This is yours and it will remain. The hush that follows your decision feels like a warm curtain closing around a stage. Behind that curtain, teams you cannot see set the next scene in order. When the curtain lifts again, your role is clearer and your steps are sure. The ground under you agrees with your weight and intention. Every footfall answers with a soft yes that calms your chest. You walk in a lane that respects your time and returns what was owed. A new steadiness settles into your hands like tools shaped to your grip. Old clumsy motions fall away and the work becomes graceful. You touch tasks and they move forward without resistance. Messages that mattered but got lost in the noise find you again. They do not accuse you for missing them because the timing is perfect now. You open them and feel the exact fit of each instruction. You stand before a table covered in simple choices. None of them feel heavy because the right one glows with quiet certainty. You choose the glowing path and everything around it becomes easy. The air in the room holds a clean fragrance of beginning. It smells like paper fresh from the press and wood warmed by sun. Your lungs love it and your mind relaxes into it. You place your name on a document inside your heart. The signature is calm and permanent and not in a hurry. It declares that you accept peace as your working condition. From the hallway of your past, a soft light reaches forward. It does not drag you backward because it only wants to show meaning. You nod and keep walking with understanding instead of regret. People who wished you well in silence begin to speak out loud. Their words hold weight because they saw your patience. Their support arrives like a blanket over your shoulders. You feel old pressure leave the muscles behind your eyes. Vision widens and detail becomes friendlier. The horizon does not threaten you because it is welcoming. Your mornings anchor to a single clear habit that works. You keep it simple because simple has power when done with devotion. That habit opens 3 doors before noon without strain. Letters of opportunity arrive with your name spelled correctly. You do not need to correct anyone or explain your worth. The letter already knows your capacity and invites it forward. A small idea you once dismissed steps back into the room. It wears new clothing and stands taller now. You recognize it and give it a seat at your table. The sound of conflict that once lived in your head grows quiet. It loses its audience and fades like a radio turned down. In the quiet you hear directions that are gentle and accurate. You learn the rhythm of rest that does not feel like laziness. It feels like planting instead of scattering. In rest your roots deepen and your fruit gains sweetness. The guidance you carry selects your company with care. Patterns that drained you bow out of your calendar. Patterns that nourish you take their place and ask for nothing but honesty. You notice how quickly your environment answers your attitude. A softer tone unlocks cooperation that effort could not buy. Your strength now travels on a calm river instead of through thorns. What once frightened you now looks like a tool. The tool is not sharp against you because your hands are steady. You use it to shape the day instead of letting the day shape you. A door you assumed was locked opens to a room with long windows. The windows show a future that does not shout for attention. It waits quietly and is full of room for your gifts to breathe. The right names come to mind at the right time. You are not chasing approval because your path carries its own light. Those who fit your future feel at home around you. You receive confirmation in a way only you would understand. It may be a song in a place without music. It may be a phrase that lands with weight and kindness. You bless your earlier self for staying alive during storms. That earlier version hands you the keys without jealousy. You accept the keys and promise to drive with care. Your daily pace now matches the size of your spirit. You do not move in panic because nothing valuable is running away. You move in purpose because everything valuable wants to be found. The house of your thoughts opens windows for fresh air. Dust leaves without complaint and light finds corners it has missed. You keep those windows open because clarity loves oxygen. You watch a pattern of delay break with a gentle snap. No loud drama is needed and no audience is required. The chain falls and the road ahead looks straight. You give attention to what answers with life. You refuse what returns only noise. This single decision multiplies your time like rain multiplies seeds. Your words settle into the soil of your relationships. They grow into shade that protects both you and others. Conversation becomes a garden and nobody leaves hungry. The clock that once felt like a hammer now feels like a bell. It rings to signal moments of grace instead of deadlines of fear. You listen for those rings and step through the open moments. You develop a quiet courage that stays when rooms grow loud. It does not need to perform or explain. It simply remains and the room rearranges around it. The gift inside your hands learns new routes through your day. It travels into work, family, and private hours with ease. People feel it and begin to trust themselves again. Delays that remain are purposeful and short. They shelter you from paths that would have wasted your energy. They hold you in place just long enough to set the perfect stage. Your story stops apologizing for being different. It accepts its own shape and finds the doors built for it. Those doors swing wide because they recognize their match. You notice how peace makes you efficient. Instead of pushing against obstacles, you walk around them. The path looks obvious now and you take it without drama. A memory that used to ache now smiles with understanding. You salute it for the lesson and let it rest. It no longer tries to lead you because it knows you are leading yourself. Your finances respond to this order with steady flow. It is not a flood that ruins foundations. It is a river that waters fields and refills its source. The room where you keep your plans looks tidier. Dusty goals leave and living goals remain. You give them consistent attention and they reward you with progress. Your language grows kinder to yourself without losing clarity. You correct gently and celebrate honestly. This language becomes the atmosphere of your home. In the mirror you see evidence of chosen calm. Your face carries ease and your eyes hold a bright steadiness. Confidence sits on your shoulders like a well-cut coat. You forgive the hours that did not know what they were making. They were building capacity and patience. Now they stand aside to let harvest in. Every day you choose one bold action that fits your season. The action is small enough to finish and large enough to matter. String them together and they become a bridge. Help arrives from directions you once ignored. You accept it with gratitude and clean boundaries. Support stays healthy when humility and wisdom walk together. You map your next 3 months without fear of the unknown. Mystery is not your enemy because you understand sequence. Sequence carries you step by step without drama. A vision for your place in the world sharpens quietly. It needs no stage to be real and no spotlight to be powerful. It becomes a lifestyle instead of a performance. You become a safe place for truth to land. People breathe easier when they speak to you. They leave your presence quieter and stronger. The future stops feeling like a cliff and becomes a balcony. From that balcony you can see far without dizziness. Perspective replaces panic and planning becomes natural. You release the habit of hiding your smile until everything is perfect. Joy is not a reward at the end. Joy is fuel for the road and you keep it within reach. You honor endings that keep you on the right road. You bless beginnings that deserve your energy. You maintain middles with patience where the real work happens. The voice of inner kindness becomes your new compass. It points you toward what is alive each day. You trust it because it consistently leads to peace. Your calendar now contains white space for breathing. In that space, ideas assemble themselves into clear action steps. These steps carry you forward without dragging your soul. You no longer carry conversations that are not yours to hold. You return them with respect and keep your hands clean. What remains fits your calling and loves your attention. The space around your decisions gains a soft glow. That glow signals alignment and attracts the right partners. You do not chase because what is meant to join you can finally see you. You allow ease without calling it weakness. Ease is what happens when skill meets timing. Skill and timing have finally met in you. You give your best energy to the hours that multiply results. Those hours become anchors you can trust. The rest of the day hangs on those anchors without strain. Invisible help coordinates what you cannot control. The coordination is subtle and kind. You feel its rhythm and agree with it through simple obedience. You build a boundary that keeps your attention from being stolen. The boundary is not a wall against love. It is a gate that opens only for what nourishes you. Your creativity stretches like a rested limb. It reaches into familiar work and returns with fresh color. That color blends with your discipline and produces excellence. When pressure knocks, you answer with order. Order invites pressure to take a seat and become useful. What used to crush you now becomes a helper. You refine how you end each day. You bless what was completed and release what was not.